What helps people with, like particularly things like the carnivore diet or something like that, what helps them is with satiety. Like there's something about carbohydrates. They're so good. You want to keep eating them. Like if I have a steak by itself, I eat the steak and I'm good. But if there's like lobster mashed potatoes or fries sitting there, I keep going, and that's like an extra 1,000 calories at least.
Well, so part of that is the blood sugar response. Some people will say, why do I crave a big dessert or something sweet after a big meal? That should make no sense, right? Well, that's a blood sugar increase. But the other reason is your gut has neurons in it. Those neurons signal to the dopamine centers in your brain. And those neurons are looking for basically three things. They want amino acids. We are basically amino acid foraging machines. Fatty acids, because fats are good for us too. That's my opinion, not in excess, but they're good for us. And sugar. And when you get enough steak, you're getting enough amino acids and fatty acids, and that signal is sent to your brain, and a pathway shuts down that says, I need more. The moment you throw in a cookie after that steak, all of a sudden your appetite goes, and it's not blood sugar, or at least not blood sugar alone. It's those neurons in your gut going, oh, there's sugar coming into my system. Get more of that. Because it's an evolutionary conserved system designed to get you more resources. So this is why if you look at your gut-brain axis as, yes, there's a microbiome and that's important too, but if you think about it as it's sensing things independent of taste, it's actually looking for specific nutrients. Then I think if people forage most for high-quality protein and high-quality fats, it's kind of obvious that that's the best way to build the basis of your diet. And then carbohydrates on a kind of as-needed basis. Right? If you're doing a lot of weight training, depleting glycogen, et cetera. So that's where I think there's a place for low or zero carbohydrate diets. I tried carnivore with the fruit and honey and all that, and I just could gorge myself. I didn't do well on that. If I've ever just done meat, I actually feel pretty good, I confess. But I'm an omnivore.
So you gorge yourself on fruit and honey? Is that what you're doing?
So I've done just meat, and I felt pretty good. To great. I mean, you feel lighter, you definitely lose weight, you're holding less water. I found it hard to train really hard with the weights regularly.
Me too.
And so I asked Paul Saladino, I said, I want to bring in some rice and oatmeal here because I'm suffering in the gym, and I love working out. And he said, well, do fruit and honey in addition to that. So I added in fruit, non-pasteurized cheese and honey the way they do that. And sorry, Paul, for me, all it did was just send my appetite through the roof. I was just like gorging myself with cheese and fruit and meat all the time. I didn't feel well, and I still couldn't train well. So for me, what works best is mostly quality proteins and quality fats. And I eat a bit of butter and saturated fats, also carbohydrates.
Is there is there any evidence that rice is bad for you?
No.
So I judge things on, obviously on science, but also on how I feel after I eat them. And when I eat pasta, I feel like I ate a brick. I feel like I ate like paste.
How much pasta are we talking?
I eat a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a glutton.
I mean,
I like a big bowl of spaghetti with like sausage and meatball. Oh,
so good.
I love it.
Oh,
lasagna. I love it.
But if you train hard, it should be fun, right?
I don't feel like that with rice. When I have rice, like say if I have like a steak and some rice, I eat the rice and I'll feel full, I feel good, but I do not feel like, I don't feel terrible. And it seems to give me energy for workouts. The problem that I had with pure carnivore was that I work out very hard. And when I work out very hard on pure carnivore, I was struggling. I didn't like it. When I added fruit, though, I didn't have the same problem that you had. Where it's like, that's like most of my diet. Like, we're talking like 90%. 90% of my diet is just meat and fruit. That's 90% of my diet. I'll eat a salad if I feel like eating a salad. I enjoy salads, but I always make sure that I'm only putting olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette. That's all I use. I don't use like bullshit salad dressings because they're all filled with seed oils.
And sugar.
Yeah, it's all garbage. Yeah. It's like so many people think they're eating well. And like, my God, you have 500 calories of fucking nonsense on your salad. And it's like, it's not good for you.
Yeah, and I eat pretty similar. I do eat rice, oatmeal, typically after I train. And in the evening, I like some carbohydrates for my meal because it helps me sleep.
I've read things about glyphosate in oatmeal, and that some oatmeals have a very high level of glyphosate contamination.
Or Shayna Swan, or phthalates.
Yes, phthalates.
Here's
glyphosate's a different thing. That's Roundup.
Yeah, I think the nutrition, it's clear. Again, I'm citing him a lot because, frankly, he's like an encyclopedia for this stuff, and he can call up meta-analysis like nobody's business. You know, Lane's made it very clear by pointing out the data that carbohydrates aren't going to disrupt your ability to burn fat. Right? It's about keeping calories in check.
Yeah, it's calories in, calories out.
Yeah.
Lane is very specific about that, and I think he's absolutely right. You know, there's so many people that have these ideas that if you eat carnivore, you burn fat because of you eat less calories.
Yeah.
You get satisfied quicker. You eat less calories.
Well, I have one idea that I'm hoping someone will test, which is when you're on a low carbohydrate diet or you're doing intermittent fasting, one thing that's very clear is that your adrenaline and noradrenaline, epinephrine levels are higher. And one of the things that you see is that people are more alert, and when they're more alert, they move more. And that brings us back to NEAT, this non-exercise induced thermogenesis. As you said, you eat a big bowl of pasta and it tends to make you feel kind of sedentary.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas when you just eat meat, you can go, go, go.
Yeah.
I ran into Jordan Peterson not that long ago. And you know he's really big. He does 3 steaks a day. And not just for his age, he looks very fit. And he feels strong. Now, I don't know what he's doing in the realm of training.
I don't think he lifts weights.
Exactly. So I don't think he has to replenish glycogen the same way many people do. But I think for people who are doing mostly cardiovascular exercise, some resistance training, I think he does some, the carnivore thing may work very well. But I think that also just being a mobile, moving person. And, you know, this thing about NEAT was discovered because they noted that people that were very thin tend to move a lot. It was a reverse it was kind of correlation in both directions. Whereas people who are larger tend